Hi, this is Erica Poindexter with the Poindexter Real Estate Group in Roseville, California. And I'm super excited because we get to find out a little bit more about Greenville, South Carolina, which is, we really haven't covered this part of the South. I've gone to Atlanta and then up above you a couple of states, but never this part of the South. So I'm super stoked. This is Michael and Jennifer with Burton and Williams Co., who are over in Greenville at Keller Williams. So tell me, you guys, a little bit about your team. We were talking before we started about how you guys are all natives and what makes that special. So tell me a little bit about that.
All right, well, I will start. My name is Jenny Burton. My business partner, Lisa, and I own Burton Williams and Company here at Keller Williams in Greenville, South Carolina. We have been a team for about 6 months, but we have worked together for about 3 years. And then I will let Michael introduce himself.
I'm Michael Childs. Newly starting on the team that they've created here. Just ready to really get started in the business and learn where to go from there.
So, and like Erica mentioned, so far, all of the agents on our team are natives to the area. Michael's actually my brother-in-law, my sister's husband. So we decided to keep it in the family. But we are super excited. Greenville is a special place to all of us because we were born and raised here, but Greenville has changed and grown and really became a place that a lot of folks want to move. We have a ton of people moving here for work. We talked a little bit, and I'm sure we'll talk more about how our economy is here and what type of industries we have. So yeah, we're excited to see you guys today.
Yeah. So let's look at the map. So this is kind of the first time I pulled it up, city on Google Maps, but I thought it was kind of important to see where Greenville was in relation to some of the other bigger cities that maybe people are more familiar with, and how convenient, right? Like you can pretty much get anywhere. So tell me, like, if you're in Greenville and you want to go on vacation, where are you going?
Well, most folks in our area would travel to the beach, or what most folks call the coast. So Charleston, Savannah, Myrtle Beach. Us locals, we all end up at Myrtle Beach somehow, but we know that it is a huge destination for folks. Otherwise, to the north, you have the mountains. You have Asheville, North Carolina, Pigeon Forge and Gatlinburg, Tennessee, Knoxville, Chattanooga. Most folks, really like any of those areas. If you want a more rural, most folks will go to like Bryson City, Blowing Rock, North Carolina. All of those are anything that I've named is within
like about 3 or
4 hours of Greenville. So we feel like you have the best of both worlds here. We also sit, as you can see, dead in the middle on the I-85 corridor from Atlanta to Charlotte. So some big cities. Greenville's growing, but it's very easy. Lots of homes here are convenient to I-85 and the interstate, and very easy from where I live. I can be in Atlanta in 2.5 hours to the airport, and to Charlotte Airport in about 2 hours. So,
and 8 hours to Disney World. So
8 hours.
From where I am, it's about 6 to 7 hours depending on traffic to Disneyland. So it's really not a big difference. So if you Disney and you don't want that big of a gap, like the same gap as we have, that's pretty cool.
Yes, and it's a 1 hour flight from Greenville Spartanburg to Orlando.
Yeah, it's about an hour. It's like 45 minutes to an hour flight to LAX from here. So that's the same. How's the beach? Like, I should have pulled up some pictures, but I've been curious about like the beach in the South, like this part of the South, because I've seen, everybody shows pictures of Florida beaches, but what's the beach like over there?
Our beaches are very touristy. Charleston is very historic, so Charleston's a great place to visit. It's beautiful, and there's several outlying beaches there. Folly Beach, Isle Palms,
Hutton Island.
I
prefer Charleston more, just simply because of the historic stuff. And I mean, if it's kids related, Myrtle Beach is great because they got all kinds of stuff for kids, young families. But yeah, I prefer a Charleston area a little bit more, but it's great all around for everyone, I believe.
And because we're so close to Florida, the Florida beaches are obviously beautiful as well. So, I mean, we've vacationed to St. Pete Beach. It's 10 hours in a car or about an hour in an airplane. So, I mean, we're so convenient to Florida that you can, be there in just a few minutes, really.
That's an easy vacation. Yeah, it's a 5-hour flight for me to get to Florida. So generally, if we're doing a beach vacation, it's the same thing. Our beaches in Northern California aren't necessarily what you think of California beaches. They're a lot colder, more like cliffs and rocky. It's not quite like the Southern California sandy beach. There's some spots. But yeah, for us, if you're going to do like a beachy vacation, you're going south.
And ours are sandy, and you can swim, and there's waves and, all of that here. So as far as like the actual ocean, it's pretty fantastic.
Very, very accessible.
So we had talked, and this is kind of like before we show some of the houses, I was just popping up Sarah's comment. I guess her family moved to North Carolina over a little while ago. We were talking about the economy, and I think like it's an important conversation that I have with a lot of my agents that I have on this show. Cost of living is less. Obviously, salaries can be less to go along with that. But I feel like our conversation, the gap between cost of living and salary is bigger so that you have the income for your lifestyle, right? And you were talking about the recession and jobs and that kind of thing. So what kind of jobs can people expect to find if they're going out to Greenville?
Well, we have a huge manufacturing presence in the upstate. So Greenville is sort of the center point of the upstate area in South Carolina, and manufacturing is one of the biggest drivers of our economy. In the late 90s, BMW moved their North American manufacturing facility to Spartanburg, which is just a little bit northeast of Greenville borders. I mean, our airport is Greenville, Spartanburg. So when they moved here, so did a ton of their suppliers. So you just have that really tight circle of manufacturing. In addition, we have other big companies that anybody would recognize: Michelin, GE, Bosch has plants here, just tons of manufacturing. So it's really, I don't want to say that we were unaffected. We were not unaffected during the recession, but we were affected a lot less so than other parts of the country. Not as many folks lost their jobs. I mean, people still lost their jobs for sure, but not as many. And we recovered. From what we saw, we recovered a lot faster than a lot of the other parts of the country.
Awesome. Okay, let's show some properties. So what I do is I like to show houses in the $500,000-ish range, because in Placer County, where I work, that's the median home price. Your average is about what?
We're about 225,000 is our average home. So
we get to see some fun stuff.
Yes. So some of these are new construction. As you can see, there's some in the high threes, and then we've got one that's about 445, 450, and then one that's 600. So this is a new construction property up in, I just need to see the address on it. I'm sorry, Erica.
It's okay, I clicked it out.
No, you're good. New development in Travelers Rest. So Travelers Rest is a northern suburb of Greenville County. One thing that Lisa and I love about this particular neighborhood is the large lot size. So this home is on a little over a half an acre. Some of the properties are a little bigger than that. The HOA fees are very reasonable, $325 a year. I don't know how that compares to where you are. That's one thing we didn't talk about. That's pretty average.
So I have this conversation with almost everybody, especially Texas or any other southern states that I've talked to. That's usually like a monthly HOA fee.
Wow.
And what are the amenities like? Do you guys have? Does this particular HOA like have other amenities?
This one, I believe, just has sidewalks and, street lights. Most of our neighborhoods here, about a 50-50 split, have a pool. Average HOA here is between $300 and $500 a year, depending on the size of the neighborhood. My personal HOA is about $360. We just have street lights and like maintenance and a retention pond and that kind of thing. But typically, we've got one under contract right now in a neighborhood that has resort amenities. So it's a new build neighborhood as well. And they have like a gym and a clubhouse and a pool and a lazy river. And I mean, it's fantastic. And it's about between $700 and $800 a year there. So,
see, that's crazy. That's cheaper than a gym membership. Like a lot of what you're talking about that you're including in HOA fees, that ends up going into what we have called Melrose, which is like a tax. And so it ends up on the tax roll instead of an HOA managed fund. So basically the builder borrows from the city, and then with the tax, the additional tax, then it covers that cost, right? For like parks and streetlights and stuff like that. We have other kinds of HOAs that sometimes it's just a gated community and you get the gate and the roads. Sometimes there's a pool and a clubhouse. I don't know of any that have like that resort style with the lazy river and all of that here. And those are the ones that fascinate me in Texas. Like that's what in Texas, it's hugely popular.
It is here as well. And our property taxes are another thing that we should probably chat about. I mean, this one, that's the taxes on the land. But I mean, this home, the property taxes are, if I had to guess, somewhere around $2,000 a year. So our property taxes are very reasonable. I think I live in Pickens County, which is just a suburb of Greenville. Our property taxes are less. I think ours are like $1,500 a year on my house, and it's worth about $325. So.
And how do you guys calculate property taxes? Because that was something, I can't remember where I was talking. I can't remember where we were at when I was doing this interview, that our property taxes are calculated at the time of sale on whatever the sale price is.
That's how ours works typically. So every so many years, each property is reassessed by the county tax assessor in the county. There's 4 or 5 counties here that sort of butt up to each other and are interchangeably the same. It's based on a millage rate here, but ours are well known as being one of the lesser tax rates in the country.
Yeah, because we're at about 1%.
Yeah, ours are not quite there. Some are and some are not. So,
and that's not including if there's Melrose. 1% is pretty average, unless there's some Melrose or HOA or something like that. So before we go to the next house, what I find cool too is new builds on a half an acre that, we get some bigger, we have some builders coming in and offering some larger lots, but nothing like that. Like that's super neat.
Right.
You get a big old space.
Yeah. So these homes, this one is one of the smaller ones in this neighborhood. And so it's 2,000 to 2,200 square feet. It's got a 4-car garage. With it the finishes in it are great. Granite countertops, brand new, obviously cabinets, LVP flooring, tile, things like that, trim accents, crown molding, tray ceilings, coffered ceilings. This is a very, very nice house, in our area, well built, by Distinguished Design is a local builder, who one of a team in our office represents, and we've sold several of their homes and folks love them. It's one of those things that folks that move here from other places are typically like, I can't believe I get to live in this house.
That's a lot of fun.
I know.
So next up, sorry, go ahead.
No, I said it really is. This is the same builder. So this is an actual picture of one of the homes they built. This one is between 28 and 3,000 square feet. It's listed at $447. Again, 4 bedrooms, 3 full bathrooms on over half an acre lot. Travelers Rest is a great little town. It has we have what's called the Swamp Rabbit Trail. So the Swamp Rabbit runs from Travelers Rest downtown all the way down through downtown Greenville and into the southern part of Greenville, and they're expanding it. So it's a walking, biking, hiking trail. So you can actually walk most of our county, which is pretty cool.
That's super cool. Yeah. And a lot of people, I mean, we're like 2 hours from Tahoe, 2 hours from the beach. Sorry, I'm clicking and it's moving everything. And a lot of what people love about where I live is the outdoor active lifestyle access. I mean, we're right 30 minutes at the base of the Sierra Nevadas. Like I said, you can get to Tahoe in 2 hours. You can go out to Nevada in 2 hours. Like, there's a lot of mountain biking and hiking and horses and stuff where I live. So I know that when I've sent referrals out, that's important to people to maintain that lifestyle that they enjoy here.
And Michael's probably the one to speak to that, but we have.
Yeah, we're about 45 minutes from any kind of mountain, any kind of trails you want to take. There's great mountains, great trails.
We have several lakes right around us, so it's super easy to on a boat.
3 big lakes that are almost all connected, so there's plenty of room to get around. As far as streams, there's for trout fishing. A lot of streams around here, and bass fishing is big. So it's in any kind of really mountain biking, anything. So you're only about 45 minutes to an hour from any of that.
Yep.
Any of that good stuff. So now we're jumping up to $599,900, and you're getting almost 3 acres and 4,600 square feet. And is the range because you guys have like unfinished square footage, like a basement?
No, our MLS actually just uses 200 square foot ranges when they list.
Okay.
So we don't have to have the exact square footage, but that is the range. So this is in a suburb of Greenville called Easley. It's actually where Michael and I both live. There's several suburbs of Greenville. Easley's one, but then Travelers Rest is one. We have Taylor's, Simpsonville, Greer, Malden. I mean, just lots of places to live. And as Greenville is growing, because it is, we're starting to see that city center. Obviously homes cost more, so we spread out a little bit. And folks are moving out. This one has obviously beautiful mountain views. It's a brick, really more like an estate.
Yeah.
Where is this one at? It's in Dacusville in the Summit. Mm-hmm. It's a very small neighborhood, but obviously luxury homes. It's a great home. And this is the kind of home that you'll find here that's a little bit older, but it's been renovated and ready for it.
Look at the views. Hold on, I passed it, but look at the views from this window. Holy smokes.
Yep.
Look, that's so pretty.
In Pickens County. So it just depends on where you want to be and what you want to do. I think this one has a basement. I mean, just a massive house, lots and lots of square footage for that price. And, obviously if you get into downtown Greenville, you're going to have a smaller house for the price that you're looking at. This one's a little bit further out, but we thought it was a good representation of what you can buy in this area in that price range.
I'm just going to sit at this table forever.
Yeah.
And never leave.
So it's beautiful. Our climate is pretty awesome. I think it's one of the big main things that draws people to South Carolina. In the winter, we're in the 30s usually. We'll have a few days that drop below that for a high, but not many. Yeah. We get about 2 inches of snow a year, maybe, and everything shuts down for a couple of days.
The kids love it.
Yeah, nice snow days. And then in the summer, it'll be 80s and 90s most of the summer. High humidity, of course, but we don't get it. We don't get over 100 like you guys do there, like we were talking about.
Yeah, so. We love our weather because it's pretty mild most of the year, but you get into August here and we could have some brutal days that are well over 100. We'll record break some 115s if it's really bad. Wow. But we just stay inside. It's kind of like a snow day. You just don't go outside, or you find a swimming pool to hang out in. And it's not that often. I mean, it's not that often. You got a couple weeks in the summer that are nasty, but like even today, like the third day of spring, we're at like probably 50 degrees and a breeze, and it's sunny and it's beautiful. And
we're here today. So absolutely.
And I know there's a lot of people that are coming from here that are always like, well, what's the weather like? I don't want to, change my weather. So it's always fun to find out like what that shift is going to be for people.
Yeah, and folks from up north, especially, and out in the northern states where there's lots of snow, laugh at us because I think all of Greenville County owns like 2 snow plows, and if we get more ice than snow, and if it ices, you're just stuck at home. Like there's just not enough equipment to clear the roads quickly. And the truth is, it'll snow one day. It did this year, and the next day it was like 55. So it melts. It's gone. It's out of the way.
And it was fun for a day. It was fun for a day.
It was. Actually, my family this year went to Asheville and went and stayed at the Grove Park Inn that weekend, so we got to play in the snow, which was fun.
Oh, that's fun. Yeah, I mean, we'll do the same. We'll go to Tahoe, play in the snow, get a cabin, like that kind of stuff. If we want snow, it's not that far. I mean, there's some city, like little towns closer than Tahoe that get snow. So if you really want to go, you can be in the snow in less than an hour. I'm not a snow person. If people invite me to Tahoe in the winter, I'm like, I'll see you in like April or something like this.
Not like one good day of snow just to like make a snowman and have a snowball fight, and then we're good.
And then be done with it.
Yep.
So before we sign off, we didn't really talk about schools and stuff. In Greenville, like how is the school system? Like what are people expecting from schools out there?
Well, obviously, we always direct people to our State Department of Education website for, school report cards and things of that nature. Greenville County is one of the biggest school districts or the biggest school district in the state of South Carolina.
Yeah.
It really reaches from the North Carolina border to, halfway to Columbia, which is a huge
space.
Yeah. And then there's the bordering school districts: Spartanburg County, Pickens County, Anderson County. All are great in their own different ways. Some are smaller and divided into smaller districts within the county. So yeah, I mean, our schools, I feel like are small to average in size, and usually you're looking at a class size of 30 or less in most cases. Yeah. So
good. Yeah, I mean, people ask, and so definitely go back to Department of Education and check that out and see, kind of identify like if there's any schools that are interesting to you. But everybody asks me. So
yeah, for sure. And if you have any questions about schools, my business partner Lisa, who's not here today, is a great resource. She was a teacher for over 20 years in Greenville County, so she knows exactly where to find all of the information that anybody would need.
Cool. So before we sign off, tell me each of you, your favorite thing about living in Greenville.
I'll let you go first.
Let me go first.
Uh-huh.
I would say generally just from all the travels I've done, it's it's easier to meet people. It's easier to just get to know people. Overall, just everyone's pretty much
Southern hospitality. Yeah. It's true.
I mean, you run into people every now and then, but the majority of it, I mean, people are easygoing, easy to talk to. I mean, it's just ease of life, I guess.
I was going to say, I feel like we're like very laid back and slow here, which I think a lot of people think that about the South. There's plenty of hustle and bustle, but it's not the hustle and bustle of a big city, which is nice. We don't have a ton of traffic, which is good. I mean, there's places definitely that are trafficy, in our area, but not compared to traffic in Atlanta or traffic in Charlotte or, one of the bigger cities.
Definitely.
We have a beautiful downtown. It's probably my favorite part of living in the area. About 20 years ago, we had a revitalization team come in and they revitalized our downtown. So we have a waterfall. It's called Falls Park on the Reedy. It's right in the middle of downtown Greenville. We have a huge suspension bridge that you can, walk out and enjoy. It's a very walkable downtown. People bring their families in the evenings and on the weekends. And it's just always nice to see the folks out walking around and enjoying, life and having dinner. And, it's just, I don't know. There's something just like heartwarming about the fact that our town still has that, and so many don't. Most of our suburbs also have great downtown areas with, local eateries. We've been named like Foodie Cities of the Year and one of the best places to retire and one of the best places to visit at the holidays. And, so if you look up Greenville, South Carolina, you're bound to find a mile-long list of accolades. And we all just sort of feel blessed to have been born and raised here. We're some of the few that are left that are still here.
And that's a lot. I mean, that's just, I think culture is important, right? Like having a culture where you can go downtown and hang out and enjoy whatever is going on and people are friendly. I think that just makes it like, I don't know. I think it just makes it. So
there's usually street performers and, it's not hard to find live music here. Things are relatively back to normal in South Carolina as far as the pandemic is concerned. We were talking about that. Our restrictions have mostly been lifted. Just recently, our governor lifted the restrictions for gatherings over 250. The restaurant restrictions are pretty much gone. A lot of the mask mandates are gone and things like that. So, I mean, people are still masking up, and people, everybody makes their own decision here on how they handle that. But it's a lot of people come here, and right now they feel like it's normal.
Yeah,
it's a glimpse of normalcy. So
at least take a vacation and go visit.
Just come visit. Come call us. We'll tell you where to eat and what to do.
Oh, that sounds like a good time. I haven't been on vacation in a year and a half.
So.
All right. Well, thank you guys so much for stepping in. I had a last minute cancellation and you guys jumped at the opportunity and I really appreciate it. And I look forward to sending you guys, anybody who's interested in South Carolina and partnering with you on future business. And hope you guys have a great day.
Thank you. And yes, we say y'all, so y'all come to Greenville.
Y'all come to South Carolina. I know my parents moved to Texas and they y'all now because they've been there 10 years. So they're all about it.
Well, thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
You're welcome.